Hey, CrossFitters, welcome back. It's Coach Bob here, CrossFit Glen Burnie, Maryland Strong, Fitness and Nutrition. Today, we've got a great video for you. We're going to be taking a look at Tia-Clair Toomey's nutrition as she gets prepped for the 2022 CrossFit Games Open quarterfinals and semifinals. Now, Tia-Clair Toomey tried out for the Australian bobsled team. She qualified, but wasn't selected. I think they made a mistake. Tia-Clair Toomey is a beast when it comes to the CrossFit Games and the open workouts, and she puts her heart into it. Very important for her is to make sure her nutrition is on track and supports her goals. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the tools that we have to plan out what we think Tia-Clair would be right for Tia-Clair Toomey. We'll provide our why behind why we're doing it, and then we'll listen to a little bit of Tia-Clair and her coach, Coach Shane, and husband, as far as what they're doing for her nutrition. So come on, come with me. We're going to step through this together and see what we think Tia-Clair should be eating, and I'm going to give you some insight in how we work with someone who has performance goals as well as some weight loss goals. So let's jump on over. We're going to go to our website here where we've got Tia-Clair Toomey. All right, here's Tia-Clair. This is her CrossFit Games website where we're going to get a little bit of information about Tia-Clair. Tia-Clair, I was saying Clara. She weighs in at 58 kilograms according to the website. And I think that that's going to represent her target weight. She talks about in her video how she was recently training for the bobsled team, and as part of that training for the bobsled team, she was eating 3,000 to 3,500 calories a day. She put on the extra weight. She was the driver, which means you really are putting your strength and power and energy into getting that bobsled to move as fast as possible. Now, getting into CrossFit, where it is more of a well-rounded overall sport where you've got to be good at a lot of different things. Gymnastics are going to be important as well as strength. So when we think about Tia-Clair's goals, she needs to maintain her strength and power, but she needs to reduce her overall body weight to get closer to this number here, which is where she likes to compete at for her CrossFit Games. Okay, so what we can do when we work with a client, we're going to first of all meet with them, and we're going to understand where they currently are, what they're currently doing, what their goals are, and then we're going to identify the lifestyle habits that are going to be most important to them to help make them make progress toward their goals. Now, Tia-Clair Toomey has been a CrossFit Games athlete and an athlete for many years, and she is what I would refer to as far as like a nutrition client, an intermediate nutrition client. So we would actually start to get into planning out the total number of grams of protein, carbs, and fat as well, and kind of moving beyond some of the early lifestyle things of building in healthy habits. So healthy habits are going to be important. And then we're going to be really planning out her total macros for the day. Okay. So that's kind of how we would be thinking about it. Now let's take the 58 grams of carbohydrates. We need to convert that into pounds so that I can make some sense out of it. So 128 pounds. We have our calculator here that we use whenever we're putting together a plan for someone to understand how much we should be eating during the day. Now, Tia-Clair is, we entered the gender, we got female, 128 pounds, and then her body fat percentage is something that we would normally have as someone would visit us for that initial consultation. We have the InBody, which is going to measure your muscle mass and your body fat mass within a percentage. Now, Tia Clara Toomey, we don't have her in the gym today, so we can't get on the InBody. But what we can do is we can look at ranges of body fat percentages for men and women. This is one of the pages out of the booklet that our individual clients would have, and we try to help them to understand red, green, yellow as far as different health indicators, whether it's triglycerides, your HbA1c, your cholesterol, and so on. So when we look at percentages for body fat for women, we want to really think about being in the range of from 10% up to 35%. So this would represent our normal healthy ranges. We're going to try to avoid being under 10%, and we want to work again toward these normal healthy ranges. Now, Tia Clara Toomey, probably in the sport of bobsled, was probably somewhere in this range of 15 to 20% body fat would be my guess. And in CrossFit, in her CrossFit sport, she's probably somewhere between 10 and 12%. So we would enter that reading into the calculator as well as a readout of her activity level. So this is where we really start to customize it for an individual, is we need to understand their goals, and we need to also understand what their activity level is. So we have a range all the way from sedentary all the way up to a beginner CrossFit, active CrossFit, or someone who's doing strength training, competitive athlete, and so on. So the highest range we have here is 1.4. So I move this slider all the way up to 1.4. Now down below, it's going to give us the total body fat mass. I can compare this with the InBody to see that I'm on target, as well as the lean muscle mass. So that is the most important part of this, is the lean muscle mass. So when we're looking at somebody, whether it's a weight loss goal or a performance goal, we want to feed hungry muscles. We don't want to feed body fat. So 115 pounds of muscle is going to require for this individual with these goals 161 grams of protein during the day. Now, I've taken this information and I jotted out the protein, carbs, and fat that this would relate to. So let me bring that up right now. So for her total macronutrients, what I've got here is about 161 grams of protein, 215 grams of carbohydrates, and 65 grams of protein. That would be about a total of 2162 to support her goals. Now, when we work with an individual, we also need to understand where they currently are, what they've been doing, and try to come up with a plan that's going to be sustainable and move them toward their goals. Now, Tia Clara Toomey tells us that in the video that she was eating 3,000 to 3,500 calories per day. So if I took her immediately to the 2162, we would find that that is going to be too much of a change too quickly. And I also can understand from her what in prior years, because she's been a CrossFit Games athlete for a number of years, what would be the number of calories that would be about right from prior years? And she would tell us that that would be about 2,500 calories. Now, in the video that we're going to take a look at, she's going to break down her breakfast, her lunch, her dinner, and her snacks. And we're going to go in and kind of take a look at that and provide the why behind how we would have her plan out her meals throughout the day. Okay, so let's go over to Shane and Tia Clara's video, where they're going to give us some insight into what they're doing throughout the day. Let's start it with some breakfast. Come on, Shane.
Righto guys, welcome to another episode of Tia and Shane Show. Today, we're going through a whole day of eating for Tia, not Shane. And this is in preparation for an online competition currently happening in the CrossFit space. So, I'm about to cook breakfast. I'm gonna have that all displayed out in front of you. Please do not judge or criticize my presentation. It's just me here. And it's for consuming, not for the Michelin star. So, we've done our best to wean Tia off bagels. That hasn't worked at all. In fact, we've actually added more bagels to the breakfast, so we've now got 1.5 bagels. Okay, so that's me compromising. We added more. But what we try to focus on for breakfast, given that we're about 3 hours from our actual training session, or from actually hitting this online competition, incorporate a lot of fats, or more fats than we traditionally would if the window was smaller than 3 hours. So what we have here is a lot of peanut butter, obviously the egg, produces a bit of fat in there, and obviously the meat is a bit fat as well. Having said that, we balance it out with quite a bit of carb. We'll have the breakdown for you as well, and also a lot of protein. A lot of protein at the start of the day for sure for our breakfast, and again the breakdown will be there, and then throughout the day you'll see more carb introduced, especially her snacks as well. But I'm gonna dish this up and then I'll get it to her because I think she's hungry.
So Shane has prepared this lovely meal for me. So basically for breakfast.
All right, we're going to pause it right there. And so what we've learned so far is that we are prioritizing protein and healthy fats early in the day. And we've got a 3-hour window before training. So we can assume that Tia, Claire, and Shane got up early in the morning so that they could have enough time for her to have her breakfast before heading over to the gym. So they have a 3-hour window, and they are prioritizing the protein and the healthy fats. We got a total of 790 calories here. And if we look at the items that we have in here, we've got bacon, which is going to give you your protein and your healthy fats, bagel, which is going to be your carbs, large eggs, which is going to be your protein and fat, peanut butter, which is going to basically give you your fat, banana, which is going to be our carbs, blueberries, which is going to be another carb source, as well as pure Irish butter, which is your Kerrygold. And she's got some apple cider vinegar gummies in there, which is not really going to add a whole lot to it. So, so let's keep going.
It's roughly around 790 calories. So if I go into here.
Okay, we're going to let her pack that away. And then Shane's going to work next on the snacks. And then we're going to talk about those. And then we're going to talk about the lunch.
Make sure.
Okay, let's go to snack time.
Conditioning piece, it'll vary, right? So what we traditionally have, or normally pack, is we have an oats mush. This is a new flavor of theirs, so we throw one of them in. You got it. We don't put butter in there. We got a banana, one banana. So this will be the second banana for today. She loves the bananas. What we do have is just in between workouts, a quick fix of sugar, just a quick hit. So we have 2 of these thrown in there. Now we didn't measure this or add this, but hey, old Nutrigrain, the old faithful, we also have one of them. That's more of an emergency, like if she just needs more, or we've got a piece that's she didn't anticipate for the most part, but that would be it. Also, what we have as well, Tia's got a stash of her supplements there, so she'll have a protein mix with carb blend ignition from First Form. She has a big stash at the gym there, so she'll just make herself, put it in the fridge, and then come to that whenever she does. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 added. Can't get enough of it.
I'm just going to add in a fuel for fire. I just skipped ahead a little bit.
So we'll just hoik one of these straight into there, just like that.
All right, so now we have the snacks packed, and we'll go over these a little bit more detail in a minute because Tia's going to break them out in the middle of the day, and she's going to talk about them. But basically, with all those things that you saw going in there, you're going to have either a protein and a carb blended together, or you're going to have just a carbohydrate. So again, we want to try to make sure our snacks are balanced with protein, carbs, and fat. Now, they move their fats earlier in the day, and they're strategically making their snacks protein and carbohydrates because that's going to help to refuel those muscles quickly so that she can get on with the next workout. Let's take a scan through the lunch.
I feel that this is probably more about me than it is Tia, but I feel that I don't.
Okay, so he's got he's got this ground beef blend
Than regular beef.
that
That's
is
enough
incorporates the beef liver as well as the heart. And what those organ meats are going to improve the overall nutrition content, increasing the zinc and the other kinds of minerals that you want. The iron content is going to be higher, as well as the protein content is going to be higher. So they've by using this blend, they're going to actually increase the overall nutritional content of the meat, of the protein that they're using. This is a cup of rice that he has there as well. So it's basically just the ground beef with the liver and the heart, grilled with some of the rice. So that's their overall lunch. Okay. Time to train. Time to work hard. So the morning, she talks a little bit about it. She's got quite an aerobic conditioning piece, a couple pieces that she does there. So that's pretty much the morning. And she's going to go over her snacks throughout the day as well as her lunch. So let's do that now.
All right, guys, it is lunchtime, and what my beautiful husband and maybe mum also have cooked up for me is some mince, ground beef, and some rice.
So on this one here, what is maybe missing from the lunch would be the healthy vegetables. We like to have, like, if you put this on a plate, you would see that the rice would take up about a third of the plate, and that the minced meat or the would be maybe half of the plate, kind of a thing. Where are the vegetables, right? So they are not including the vegetables, I think, because vegetables tend to be bulky, and she's in the middle of training. So they're really focusing on trying to make sure that nothing's really going to kind of interfere with her training day. And you could just imagine if you just had a big belly full of broccoli, you're not going to want to do a whole lot of burpees. So that's why I think we're missing the veggies there. Now, that being said, we probably could find vegetables that we could add in there that would not have so much bulk, and that would be our starchy carbohydrates, such as squash or sweet potato and things like that. Okay, let's go on.
Off the top of my head, I actually don't know how much they put in there, but we are keeping true to some macros, just because I am still trying to lose the bobsled weight, and so I'll have this, so heaps of carbohydrates, a bit of protein. I have a lot of fats in my breakfast, so I'm not huge on having fats throughout my training.
So again, that's a good tip right there. Basically what happens when not all calories are created equal, and the fat is going to be slower burning. It's going to slow the digestion process down. And the most important thing for Tia is that she keeps that energy flowing throughout her training day. So that's why they have placed the healthy fats and loaded those early in the day. And when we look at the overall calorie content throughout the day, the breakfast was by and large the biggest part of calories for the day. Kind of interesting. So let's go on to the snacks next.
A bit of a
Oh, wait, we got more training.
Swim across the lake of fire, just to add another brick to the empire. No outsiders, keep the love tribal, spread them like virus, about to go primal. Fans shaking up the stands when they go wild. Execution is the plan, we don't hold trials.
All right, nice job, Tia. So we're going to bring up the snacks next, and she'll talk a little bit about them, I think. Yeah.
Between our sessions, so where am I at? So I just did my strength, and then I also did a conditioning piece. So we're going to have a little bit of a relaxing period now. I'm going to have some oats. I've got fuel for fire as well, and I'll have some little gummies just for a little bit more sugar.
So we'll pause it here for a second. Again, the priority that they're placing right now is going to be on the carb and protein blends, the ignition, and is going to That's a supplement where it's got the whey protein and a carbohydrate complex mixed in it, fruit snacks, the banana, the mixed berry oat mush. That's going to be a carbohydrate. So again, we're talking about refueling hungry muscles and trying to get that very quickly to the muscles. So the trick there, hormonally, that what's happening when you have a little bit of carbohydrates with your protein is that you get a little bit of an insulin response where it's going to start pumping that energy to those working muscles. Now, here's the key. Those muscles have to be muscles that have, are working, right? So you've done your workout and those muscles are ready to be, they're insulin sensitive. So they're going to absorb all that good energy. So there we go. Let's see, where do we need to go next? So we've got the breakfast, we've got her lunch, we've got her snacks. We got to get on to dinner. So let's see what she's having for dinner. So we're going to go ahead. There we go.
Delicious dinner.
Her mom made the dinner.
I had to give her the rundown that I'm still trying to cut weight from bobsled. So everything has been weighed and measured. We have white potato with some garlic on top, roasted on top. We also have some like pork tenderloins, so they're all chopped up and they've been cooked on the Traeger actually. We've also got some avocado, and then I've got some salad. I am not going to have any.
So I'm going to pause that. She says she's not going to have any dressing, but she does say, hey, if you want to add some flavor, you might want to have some dressing on there. And if you do have dressing, keep in mind that there's going to be a good bit of calories coming in from the dressing. So be careful there. Use in moderation. So if we look at the plate that she actually has here, and if I back up a little bit on this one, we're going to kind of see the overall plate. So we like to use the plate method to get a good picture of, or an idea that we're getting a blend of all the macronutrients that we need. So we're looking for a half a plate of veggies. The only thing I see here is this salad mix, and I'm a little concerned that we have missed an opportunity to get some good healthy veggies in here. So I would like to see this salad mix upgraded to include more veggies. So we got to get some carrots in there. We got to get some squash. We got to get some nuts and seeds in there. Some maybe pecans or something else in there as well. That could be another healthy fat as well. But the idea here is more veggies. We have pork tenderloin, which is, that's going to be a nice lean protein. So good there. And then we got a plant-based fat with the avocado. So I like that as well. And the potatoes, certainly good there. So the only thing here I think is missing is we could really upgrade this salad. So we have the total calories there. And next she's going to kind of break all of that down for her day. And I think we can do that ourselves. We've got all of the pieces here. So we're going to add them all up and take a look at those. So let's bring those up right now. So for her breakfast, she listed 790 calories. Her lunch was 500 calories. The dinner was 440, and the snacks were 780. All of that adds up to 2,500 calories. So she really hit her target on that. They did weigh and measure just about everything. And that is going to be where she's going to try to target this week. Now, like I said, when we meet with a person or an individual and go over their goals, we want to find out what they have been doing and whatnot. So as not to make too big of a change. It's not an all or nothing kind of a thing. We want to make steady changes toward our goal so that we can get that consistency and build up our confidence. So when we get to the quarterfinals, when we get to the semifinals, we have the confidence to know that we are feeding those muscles properly throughout the day. And we also learned that they are planning these meals throughout the day and being very careful to make sure of where those macronutrients are occurring throughout their day. The fats and the proteins are showing up early in the day, and we're getting most of the calories in that breakfast. The 3-hour window before she heads off to the gym, before the first training session should hit anyway. And then we have the snacks, which were primarily carbohydrates and healthy fats. Or I'm sorry, I said healthy fats, not healthy fats. So we had carbohydrates and protein blends. And then for the lunch, we talked about the bulk and how they're addressing that. And then for the dinner, we have a nice healthy option for that. She's got to get that's kind of the ending of the day, and then she's going to do it all over again. So the quality of the food is going to be super important as well. You can't eat garbage because you're not going to recover well with those. So we've seen some good, healthy options primarily throughout the day. So A+ on that overall. All right, CrossFitters. There's a day of nutrition with Tia Clara Toomey, and I hope I was able to provide some insight of how we work with individuals that have specific goals, whether your goal is a performance goal or a weight loss goal, or you have maybe some combination where you want to lose weight and maintain performance. This is how we do it. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the journey. Stay fit, stay healthy, stay active, take care, and have a great day. Peace.